Welcome to Human OS Mind Your Health Rewired, the show that unpacks the hidden systems driving your symptoms and empowers you to heal from the inside out. I'm your host, Dr. Connie Cheung, and after decades of inside the healthcare system and outside of it as a patient, I've learned this, that health isn't something you chase, it's something you remember. And if you're ready to rewire your body, reclaim your power, and rise above the outdated health norms, you're in the right place. Let's get right to it.
Hey everyone, welcome to Mind Your Health podcast, Human OS Rewired. So this is Dr. Connie, your host, and today is a very special topic that I've been pondering forever and ever, and that is gut health. Beyond diet to true nourishment. How I came up at this topic is because as a registered dietitian who graduated in the 90s and having had the 90s and then the 2000s and then to today, that was a long span of over 25 years. And some of the things that I see, the trends from back then to today, when they say there is a pendulum swing in the field of health and nourishment, as specifically nutrition, it's no joke. From keto to fat-free to glycemic loads to now macro counting to all the things, the supplements, the elimination diets, to all the diets that are out there. I just want to kind of provide you with some perspective when it comes to food. So at Functional Yoga Medicine, we believe that gut health isn't just about what you eat, it's about how you nourish your body at a deeper level. Diet is only a piece of the puzzle. And so many people put so much emphasis on the food. Yes, Socrates said it best, you are what you eat. But that eating consummation takes many different forms. Your state of being when you're eating is the most important, not what you're putting into your body. Of course, that's important as well, but I think many people misconstrue that idea and completely dismiss their state of being. And like I said, diet is only a piece of the puzzle. That true healing comes when we listen to our bodies and provide them with the nutrition and nourishment that it needs, not just to survive, but to thrive. So let's differentiate between food versus nourishment. What specifically is the difference? Well, in our culture, food is often treated as fuel, but nourishment is much deeper. Food is the physical substance we consume, but nourishment is the emotional, energetic, and physiological value we get from it. And nourishment isn't just about calories or macronutrients. It's about providing your body with what it truly needs to feel balanced, energized, and healed. And did you know digestion starts in your mouth? And a lot of people inhale their food and they're mindlessly eating. And if you've ever went after a plate of food when you're stressed out, like, classic movies, when you go through a breakup, you grab a carton of ice cream and you start eating it just to numb the pain, so to speak, right? So we do use foods to sort of tend to our emotions underlying, and understanding that really, really helps us to stay balanced, energized, and healed. And so with that being said, digestion starts in the mouth. And so how you mastication means chew your food to where, we call it chyme in scientific nutritional language, where we have to make chyme, meaning all the things that you put into your mouth needs to be digestible before you swallow. So it needs to be chewed, but many people don't even chew their food. They inhale their food. And so it's like it goes down so fast and half-eaten food in their stomach, and now your small intestine and your large intestine has to process it, and it's no surprise so many of us have gut issues. So I want to introduce you to the idea of intuitive eating, and it's simply listening to your body's signals. Dieting and restrictive food rules often ignore the body's inherent wisdom. We're all born with the ability to understand what our body needs. Yet over time, many of us have lost touch with this connection, and our approach goes beyond rigid meal plans to intuitive eating and trusting your body to guide you in choosing the foods that make you feel your very best. And that's the idea. We know this, but our emotions take the better of us, and then we often react, not be proactive and respond, right? And so that's something that I call human OS, where we have to upgrade our nervous system to be in that optimal state before we do anything, before doing all the things. And so just the concept of that really changes your perspective when it comes to food. And when we become more attuned to our bodies, we start to recognize the signals. And many people might kind of fend me off in the beginning because they want the simplicity of following directions. But I call that where we are giving power away to the outside influence, and that limits us from the full potential of stepping into our own bodies and our own power to really tend to exactly what our body needs, not what other practitioners might recommend. So cravings can indicate different nutrient deficiency, a stress response, or an emotional need. And so learning to differentiate that is key, but it starts with awareness. So don't get frustrated. It takes a bit for you to be aware, but once you're aware, you cannot not be aware, right? And so that's the good news. The second thing is fullness is a signal that your body is satisfied. And we can stop eating when we feel satisfied, not stuffed to a point of throwing up, right? And we've often do that and we get into food coma as we call it. So, and then another thing is energy levels post-meal can help us understand how certain foods are working for us, not against us. So let's talk now about healing your gut through connection, not just restriction. It's easy to fall into the trap of following fad diets or obsessing over elimination protocols. But real gut healing comes from cultivating a connection with your body's needs rather than imposing external rules. And intuitive eating helps us to rewire our relationship with food, taking it from a source of stress and confusion into a space of deep nourishment. We teach you how to interpret your body's signals to find the balance between what you eat and how you feel. And this isn't about restriction, it's about understanding what truly nourishes you, both physically and emotionally. It's very practical if you think about it. And so everything that I teach and promote is sort of coming back to the basics of our primitive bodies and the way we are supposed to function, okay? Not give our power away to all the other practitioners to figure out what exactly we need. That's like a broken strategy that I want you to stop doing, right? Next is nourishing your gut beyond the plate. So we go beyond food by focusing on digestive health through a combination of nutrition, stress management, emotional healing, and mindful eating. Healing the gut involves more than just food choices. It's about creating an environment where your digestive system can function optimally. And this includes reducing stress, practicing mindful eating, and using therapeutic nutrition to promote gut healing at a cellular level. So I want you to really understand this mindfulness really helps us, and really gratitude for the food and the ability to eat the food, bless the food. All these spiritual acts should be a part of your eating habit to enhance the cellular level metabolic process and digestion, and the power of nourishment for the whole body healing. Okay? When we talk about that, when we eat and treat food as nourishment, not just fuel, we begin to address the emotional and energetic factors that impact our overall gut health. Remember, gut is your second brain. And so your gut health is absolutely necessary for optimal health. And as somebody who's had health crisis, let me tell you, every kind of diet, it kind of serves its purpose, but you're going to recognize it's typically not sustainable, especially if it's very restrictive. And I lived like that for years and years, and I'm talking about over a decade of elimination diet, thinking that was my golden rule when I got into functional medicine, only to recognize, again, pendulum swing, right? In these theoretical sciences, it may help for a little bit, but the idea behind everything that I do is we should be able to handle all the foods that are out there. There's no bad or good food. Yes, there's processed foods that are inherently worse for us than whole foods. However, no food is ever bad or good. We do not classify it that way. We think of it as, is it nourishing? How does it make us feel energetically? Am I masking my hunger for emotional needs? And am I coping? Am I numbing? Like, being aware of that is super, super important for your overall health and maintenance and sustenance, frankly, right? So I just want to say that eating should carry a different meaning, and I want you to think of eating in a different way. Rather than dieting, I want you to think about creating a better relationship with your body, as well as a better relationship with food, looking at it as a nourishment to your body that adds to you, not just calories and belly fat. And then you've got to go work it out. Like, thinking about it that way is a very sick approach that's guaranteed to cause inflammation in the body. So I can't emphasize enough how simple things like being aware and just cutting off all electronic devices when you're eating and focused on your body, chewing the food, feeling the texture, the temperature, and the taste of it, and really devouring and enjoying and feeling the gratitude and really enjoying your food is key to healthy digestion and gut health overall. And that's what we promote here. And the reason why I came to this was because not only my experience in breaking down the different substrates in food like macronutrients and micronutrients, but also you cannot address eating as just a scientific thing, biochemistry, because your body, it's biochem for a reason. Biology of your being matters, and it influences your physiology. So your being is a lot more important. So we address a lot in the context of gut health as a systematic approach to the EASE method. It's the first E, enteric nervous system, which is the gut health, and A for autonomic nervous system, your stress responsors, which influences your digestion as well. And then there is the S, which stands for somatic nervous system, which is your musculoskeletal body, as well as then empowered psychology. So all has to integrate together to bring wholeness to your nourishment for your body. So never say you're on a diet, never restrict yourself. Be free and be able to eat everything is the goal. Those of you who are following a FODMAP or a gluten-free or an elimination diet for good reason. But I just want to say that going on like that is not the answer. But I used to suck the enjoyment out of food altogether until I got kidney failure, and then all the rules were out the door because everything healthy was no longer options for me, including water, and I have to really restrict a lot, and so I have to be very careful to not eliminate too many things, because not only what didn't I have in appetite in the beginning, but it was very hard to get enough protein in within the limits of the kidney diet, which is very bland to begin with. So I had to recreate this whole way of eating that suited my needs. So I'm not on a kidney diet, but I had to adjust according to the needs of my body. And I still play around with the changes of my body as my kidneys or my kidney function declines, and I'm on dialysis now. So it just becomes a very scientific experiment where I can handle all the nuances. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share today about gut health and nourishment. It's a different context that I wanted to introduce to you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed my podcast, you can work with me. You can DM me. You can find me. Subscribe to this podcast, which is Mind Your Health, or Human OS Mind Your Health Rewired. We've revamped the whole messaging around upgrading our Human OS, which is Human Operating System. This has been your host, Dr. Connie. I thank you so much for being here to listen to our podcasts. We cover all holistic, very frank and practical tips, all from somebody who's in the trenches with you as the practitioner, provider, educator, and a mentor, as well as a patient. So thank you again. This has been such a pleasure to be with you and spend time with you, and I honor you. And follow me and subscribe to me and leave us a review, and I will see you all next week. Bye. Stay safe.
Thanks for tuning in to Human OS Mind Your Health Rewired. If something you heard today sparked a shift, share it with someone you love, or tag me at Dr. Connie Cheung so we can spread this mission together. To explore programs, trainings, or resources to support your healing, visit hossystems.com. And remember, you're not broken. You're brilliantly wired for healing. You just need the right operating system. Until